So in 2001, my brother Ben died, and he died in his sleep. He lived in Brighton at the time, a little flat with some mates of his, and he'd never had any symptoms. There was nothing obvious that would, that we'd know there was something wrong with him. He just literally was found dead in his bed one night. And then it was the case of his flatmates letting the police know, and the police letting my parents know, and we found out in the middle of the night that he had died. We never actually got a diagnosis for him because the coroner that did the post-mortem couldn't find anything wrong, couldn't find anything physically wrong with his heart, and so it was put down to perhaps an electrical fault. Query long QT. Absolutely enormous, because it's just such a shock for someone to be fit and healthy 1 minute and living their life, and then just found dead with absolutely no hint of any problem beforehand. So it was such a huge shock to take in at the time, and I think it had a very profound effect, because my brother certainly was, within 9 months he'd been diagnosed with a brain cancer, and we just think that the whole stress of the whole thing brought this on. And my older brother then died, and within 2 weeks of him dying, my father had died because he'd had a heart attack. And again, I think it was just the stress of the whole situation triggered all these events. So the effect has just been absolutely profound, really. Myself and my sister and my mum that are now left, we've just got this huge gaping hole in our life where we've lost Ben, and then consequently we've lost Gary, and we've lost my dad. Ultimately, I think he would have found, someone to marry. He would have married. He would have had children of his own. He never actually said, because he was only 24, and I think, he wasn't with anyone particularly permanent at the time. But I think ultimately that would have been his dream. And his job at the time, he was happy doing what he was doing. He was couriering at the time, but I don't think there was anything. I don't know professionally what he would have done, because the world was his oyster. He was only 24, so I think at that age I think you're just enjoying life to the full, and just take what comes, really. But we've definitely missed out. I've missed out on a sister-in-law and nephews and nieces, and my mum's missed out on grandkids. Again, it's just that huge gap that would have been filled.